Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar all about telemetry. My name is Danusha Jolliffe, and I am the Marketing Customer Services Director here at TVision and Bevica, and I'll be paying attention to the chat. So if anybody has any questions, please pop them either in the chat box or in the question box, and I'll be asking Andrea as we go along. Over to you, Andrea.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea. I'm the Ops Director for TVision, and I'm really looking forward to show you something about telemetry. So can you see the screen? I think so, right? So I can. Okay, so very quickly today we try to cover a little bit on what is telemetry and how we are using telemetry in TVision. I'm going to then run through a very short demo about the telemetry power up we are using for this kind of topic. And then the closing slide will be why is important telemetry for us. So let's move to the next one. Okay, so what is telemetry? Telemetry basically is a service that is inside of your business central environment. It's sending data about operation and events that happen on the environment directly to our Azure analysis workspace. The way that TVision actually set up this is that we have all our customer and all our environment in one storage in a TVision cloud environment. And we are collecting all this information in one place. So it's basically held and managed from us directly. And at this point, then we have a sort of power up that show us in a more like a customer way or my user way the information, because otherwise looking at the telemetry would be just a very long list of log event with code and error message and so on that doesn't make any sense out of that. So I'm going to spend some time to show you a few screenshots we took about this kind of app and then the way that is actually structured and so on. So you can kind of understand how we are, how this app looks like for us. Briefly, the app actually is split in four kind of sub app, a sub data item, and there are like four area actually: the usage, the error, the performance, administration. But I can go in depth after that in a short moment. Just to cut the chase immediately, I need to be sharing with you that is a Microsoft service, is a privacy compliance, so low regulation, and everything is part of the implementation architecture of this service. So don't worry, any information and data that is shared with us, with our team, is not linkable with the user that is actually reading the data or with your content. So we can't see such things like your customer list or item list from telemetry. It's just the event, the error message, and so on. So nothing really related with the data content. How we are using the app. So the app is used from different departments on TVision. We have our product owner like Claudio for Bevica and Jason for our app. They can see how the user is actually using the app. So how many pages they are using, what kind of feature they are using, how often they are using the page, when, from what device, and so on. So it is quite insightful information for them to kind of understand the engagement with the product. About account manager is our sales department. So basically what they can do is actually understand a little bit more how you're using Business Central, because sometimes, every customer has different taste of the app. Someone is using more the finance part, like the chart of account or gel account, whatever. Other people, the most common actually is the sales order, the sales part, and then there are, just a few of us, they are using job, project, and so on. So it's just to give them a little bit of background on the customer experience of what they are using, and also they can see what distinction they are installed. So for example, with a brief overlook on this power up and the section for the customer, they can understand, okay, this customer is actually using Continia, is quite into finance rather than sales, so they can address the sales call in a better way, if it makes sense. And then there is a customer service that is quite an important part of this app. Is actually the more engaged with this app, they can use that for kind of environment administration and troubleshooting on error and performance. So it's really, really important for us. And finally, for the development team, for tech team, because there are very important information about the performance. So how long it's going to take a piece of code to run a large table query on table and page, how long a page is going to take to kind of open. So, you know, very, very important insight from us. And yeah, that's something we can do obviously post go live when we have such an amount of data where the performance are really, really stretched, and that's one of the use we are doing within the dev team. Okay, now I'm going to start to kind of go in depth with the Power application, and I just listed here all the different visualization we have. So for each one of them, there is actually a Power Up page with all the visualization and detail in there. Obviously, I can't run through every one of them, otherwise it's going to take like an hour of webinar and would be also quite boring. So what I did is actually take a few screenshots and give you the actually the more kind of insightful, and just to give you a taste of what is the app about. You know, you are always welcome to contact us if you want to kind of drill down a little bit more, especially through the customer service team. So again, this one is usage, so all about how you guys are using the system and the environment, your application, and we have information about session. So who is, you know, how many sessions we have up and running, what kind of session we have, the client, so what device are using the user to kind of access the environment, location where they are connected from, application area, what part of the system they are using, page, how many page, which page they are kind of opening, how long it's going to take, report, same. Feature is application area is more about sales. Feature would be like, I don't know, customer or yeah, it's more like the tail part of like a sub area of the application area, if it makes sense. Client action, integration, connector, you know, you have plenty of sub page that not all of them will be super relevant, but you know, they are quite large and insightful. So this one is you know, a taste of one of the page of the app. So you can see here you have like a tree map graph where it's going to show you very graphically how people are using the application. You can tell that is mainly about sales, and this is actually data collected from all our customers. So our customer in general, they are quite engaged with the sales part of the software, and kind of hands to hands goes the purchase and finance, and then finally I would say that you know, a minor part of the user are using inventory and project management is what I was mentioned before, is a job. Relation engagement is the customer service, like a CRM part of Business Central. So again, it's giving you immediately a glance of the eye, so you can see how they're using the system. Now, what we can do is on our side, we have a sort of slicer that is a very technical way to say that you can slice the data for customers. So what we can do on our side is, this one is all our customer, but what we can do is cut the data based on a specific customer. And then we can see this data with the same, with the current amount of the click for the specific customer and the specific environment. So the nested structure is a customer and then environment. So you have a production environment, UAT environment, and so on. So this is how we approach usually. So generic is more about you know, presenting, but when we are troubleshooting or preparing something for you guys, we filter by customer and production environment. So we have a very good feeling of what is the you know, your usage. This is actually like they call the table structure, matrix table view, and they give you the details, so you can literally drill down from the area, and then you can see exactly what page they are clicked and viewed from this page. Another one that is from usage, you have there are, I don't think there are no surprise there, where the sales order is our top page from all our customer. And then the second one is the customer card, and then the order list. This one is the business management role. Doesn't really count because it's the first page you're going to see when you open the business central. But again, it's going to give you a very good view on what is the engagement, how the user are using our user are using Business Central. On the right side, you have again a very graphical view about the percentage. So what kind of device are using the application, and and there is also what part of the day they are more engaging with us, and then there are what days of the week they are more engaged. So it looks like the pattern here is from Monday to Tuesday from 9 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's the hot spot for Business Central. This one is always in every dashboard in Power BI. You do have a map, so we stick there in this presentation. You can tell that is a very UK-based installation, but we have people from all over the world. Someone probably on holiday, connecting on the environment. Some other using the VPN, but most of them they are actually customer in different places of the world. We have also the language on the right-hand side, where I would say that there is more like a laziness. I think by default we have a US language, so probably we didn't change the default language in GB for a few customers. But it's quite nice to see that we have a few customers using French and the German language as well. So it's quite a nice view. This is another one that is giving you some insight about what is the setup of our user for that are accessing the environment. You can tell straight away that we have the top setup for our customer is a laptop environment with Windows 10 and Chrome. And literally, if they're not using Chrome, they're using Edge. That's exactly that. So very little people are using Mac desktop, and I would say that all the people are using phone. There are iPhone are using Safari as user. And that's the resolution of the video actually on the other side. But again, it's just to give you some what kind of data we are collecting with this tool. So we close the page with the usage that is actually all about engagement, how the user are using the environment, and we move to performance. Again, let's have a look here. There is a very large view about all the pages we have available for on the app, and again, Microsoft is actually releasing multiple page, extra page every 2 months roughly. They are updating the Power App app. We are getting a new version, so we can download that, and we have announcement view on all of that. So it's kind of a learning curve for us as well, keep you updated with everything. But the more there are, the better, even if it's more consuming for us time to kind of keep up with the knowledge. So on this one, I'm going to highlight just a few that are quite relevant for us. So we have the long running query, and then this one is actually the classical query that you would run for SQL back in the days to see how long it's going to take a database to open, a SQL process to kind of run, and so on. But what is actually more exciting is the longer running IL method that is basically a sort of more detailed view of the running query that actually read down directly on the code that the developer has done to kind of run this kind of statement. That is super, insightful for us, and it's going to give you, a very, very good narrow visibility on what is the problem. We have a page view, again, very, very useful, where it's going to tell you how long it's going to take a page or report to kind of open. And then you have other information like incoming call and job queue, how long they're going to take to run, and every performance. this is the dashboard. So Microsoft that presents like with this kind of a card, like they say, a visualization card, where you have like a number of error. Now, don't be too scary about this number, because actually Microsoft turned on some kind of fake performance issue and fake error, just to show you how you're supposed to use that. You can filter this error very quickly, and you're gonna get very less this number. So don't worry, we are not in this situation with all our customer. And what you can do is actually drill down. This one is the long running query SQL. You can drill down and see specific issue. This one is a kind of a mix of different visualization that we are using, and they are the most common for us. So for example, you have the average load time. So how long are you going to wait to kind of open a page on the left or run a report on the right? Now, for the left one, you can tell you have like some continua page. They're quite slow, and you have some other page with a lot of calc field that may take a little bit longer to open. A fake one that is the company copy data that is actually taking the time to copy the company, so it's not really fair as a number. But again, that's a very good one. So for example, one of our customers raised some issue about a specific page, and what we did, we actually opened this page, filtered by the customer. We can actually see the data, and we actually recognize that here there is a problem with this page. And then I'm going to show you some other slide after that. We can drill down and see exactly where it's coming from, the problem. And again, on the right side you can see report and how long they take to run, and so on. So is actually quite insightful. Obviously, reports are not just a layout report. So for example, there is a Shopify sync product. There are kind of activity they can run overnight. They can take up to a few minutes to run, and they are actually updating data. So they meant to be slow and long to run. And then on the bottom, you can see how this kind of report have been running over the week. Again, very graphical, very easy for us. Yep.
We've had a question. Someone's asked, how frequently is the data updating in telemetry? Is it real time?
No, it's not real time. We have an update every night. I think every night we get the data updated. Yeah. And we can force, so the data is sent real time from Business Central to our Azure log storage, but then we have the Power Up updated just once a day. We can update more often, but it's not something it's not really something you do interactively with the customer. It's more read the data and take action if it makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
So very good question. Okay, see, this one is my favorite. So basically is how long a query run, and actually we'll drill down on the IL, that is our language method statistic. So again, this one is a Shopify routine that is updating stock, but even more so, you know exactly what is the object and what is actually the method that it takes so long. So back in the days, it would take us at least a few hours to get to this point. In here, we just need to click a button and see exactly the object. So we're going to save a lot of time on troubleshooting on this performance. And we have so many information out of the box without even moving fingers, to be honest. So it's such a such a very powerful tool for us, and it's going to improve experience on the customer side as well. This one is another one, very good, is web service. So this one are web service MVC that are actually how long is going to take a web service on the first one on the left to kind of reply. So from the call from a website or something, for example, I want the customer list from the website, how long is going to take the system to reply back to the website. This one on the left. On the other one, we have the most aggressive call, means how many times an external source is calling our API, and then you see there are spike and so on. So for example, this one was very useful because back in the days we had an issue with one of our customers that actually they had some problem with the third-party integration. They were bombarding the endpoint in Business Central, and then there are for security reasons, the endpoint has been closed from Microsoft because they were taking it was an attack. So again, by looking at this, we identify exactly who was the source of the call and what was the page targeted and so on. So again, really important kind of information about that. Okay, and then we have errors. So this one is for troubleshooting. Again, I'm not going to go through all the pages because there are plenty and so on, but there are, there is the dashboard page, the dialog page, and so on. But it's quite important to give you a feeling about what kind of error we are tracking. So dialog are the error that are more common for you. So basically, pop up with the error, and you go, why I have this error, that this is where our troubleshooting will run, and we will go from dialog. We can search for the customer and then see which one is the error that matches the description from the ticket on Freshdesk, if it makes sense, and then we can troubleshooting from there. Otherwise, there are errors that are not really visible for the end user. For example, login, the experience would be account login, but from us, we have more insight in the fact that we know exactly who was trying to log in or how, and permission set because they can't see anything on the business central, so we can maybe check there. Future email authentication connector, again, all about web services. This one again is quite very powerful because we have all the error about API and that we can track. So when we are calling outside, we have a feedback. Okay, the web service is not responding on the other side, so outgoing web call, or incoming is an error that we get when someone is calling the website from outside inside of business center. Another error. So
Andrea,
okay. Yeah.
I've had another question. Someone said that you've mentioned SaaS and Business Central, but is this also available for on-prem?
So out of the box is available for online, but we have also the capability to do that for on-prem for the latest version. Obviously, there are not as much as event and alert track, but it definitely is something we can set up for our customer on-prem as well. So
thank you.
Yes. Dashboard, yeah, that's an error dashboard. Basically, again, very simple. You can drill down, see the different group of error. So you have user error, so goes from user or with the user interaction, integration, web service, connector, and so on, and system error that are more like hide from the top one with the job queue and so on. So these are error. So again, just to give you a taste of the error, you can see from from the left top, you can see, for example, error by publisher. Now, okay, the screenshot I took, it doesn't show you, but the 47% is from Business Central error, and then you have error that are from Bevica, for example, for TVision app, for who is providing the app, basically. So we can narrow down a little bit what is the major cause of error in general. Usually it's Business Central, and then we have the custom app with Bevica or TVision or Continia and so on. Then you have the error by day, so you can see obviously the more people are using the system, the more easy is we are having error and so on, and kind of other graph that are quite nice to kind of navigate. This is a sort of light touch debugging where you can see, for example, when someone has an error, you can see actually where it's coming from. This is more relevant for us as a developer because we know exactly what was the object and the place where the error has been raised. So we can literally just go to the source code and then try to troubleshooting a little bit better this kind of structure. And finally, there is the administration and maintenance. This one is the latest. They updated the import. It is more about how we are managing environment and so on. So in this one, basically, we have operation that are sensible, like a company copy or deletion or update when the update has been kicked off and so on. So something that has changed in the system and is easy for us to identify what has changed in the last few days, if it makes sense. And this one is another one for maintenance, quite important for us, is are we deleting the change log? When it's been deleted the last time? Are we running retention policy with the data, and how often it's been run? So, just to keep an eye on data cleansing and how the customer, our customer, are actually maintaining the data on their own database, if it makes sense. And this one is the AI performing performance tool. Basically, Microsoft is running improvement on the database underneath the environment every night. Is checking based on the telemetry what is doing, what is running slow, can improve that with a new key, can I add the key. What it does is actually adding the key, then reading the telemetry for 2-3 days, and then apply another modification to the key and so on. This is where we have the track of all this improvement that the AI for Microsoft is doing for us. So it's really powerful, as actually we have a track of the system and how it's working. And this one is used during the wave. We have a sort of inventory with all the information about when is updated, when is due the next update, what is the current version and what will be updated to, and what is the date and the period that they are going to update. So very, very useful for us to kind of run through the wave. Final slide is why it's important for us. To be honest, just in order is first of all, customer service. We have now a tool very, very powerful to troubleshooting, that get to the error very fast. And back in the days, it took us ages to get to the same place. Now we have a very powerful tool to kind of narrow down the scope and understand where the problem is coming from. And also with environment maintenance, we have a very powerful tool to know exactly what has been changed in the system in the last few days. The second point is the sales customer engagement and so on. We have a taste of what is the engagement with the customer based on area of feature they are using. And finally, the tech team for performance tool, I think is, back in the days, you used to take like weeks and months to kind of track and get a better performance on a system. And now we have everything already there. We just need to have a look there. We are doing that during the wave update. So again, a very big improvement for us with this tool provided from Microsoft. So I hope I cover everything.
We did have another question. Someone said that all of this information has been really helpful, and if they want to do anything next, what is going to be the next best steps? Who should they contact to dive deeper into the telemetry?
Yeah, our customer service is trained on this telemetry, so they will be able to kind of drill down, give you some insight on specific, topic, performance, or whatever. So definitely, you need to get in touch with our customer service team and book some time with them.
Great. Okay. Has anybody got any more questions before we finish up? It's your last chance to pop something in the question box. Okay, I think that's all the questions for now. So thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you everybody for joining. As always, this webinar will be available on demand on the website in a few days. And the information will always also be popped into the next newsletter that will be going out as well. So thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, Andrea, for sharing all that information around telemetry.
Thank you.
Thank you.